YouTube, my name is Mesa Sean, and welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. Alright folks, let's have the talk. Let's have the conversation. I've been meaning to make this video for a pretty long time, and I think now's the right time to talk about it. Let's talk about Destiny 2 Year 3. Can it survive? In particular, can it survive September? Can it survive if we have an annual pass and not a full-blown Forsaken size expansion? So I was on my way home from the Borderlands 3 reveal event. And don't worry folks, I need to get this out right away. There will be no disruption in any Destiny 2 content for the foreseeable future. I'm just enjoying covering multiple games, and I only cover games that I truly enjoy. But I'm on my way home, and early on in my flight, I see an article from Paul Tassi called Destiny 2 would be wise to avoid a September showdown with Borderlands 3. So I'm going to link him and also the article in the description. He's a good follow. He's a gaming journalist for Forbes magazine. So of course, I don't read the article just yet. Hold on, settle down. I respond to it, why can't we just enjoy both games in September? And then he just wrote back, not enough time, and that stimulated a lot of good debate in that particular Twitter thread, which I'll link that in the description too. And I wrote, I hear you, dude. It'll be rough, but we need to stop eating through content fast, myself included. And he's like, well, at least in Borderlands, we have 4 characters to do everything with. Then, conveniently, my airline actually had good Wi-Fi. Normally, airlines are terrible when it comes to Wi-Fi. I got to read the whole article. And man, he brings up a lot of good points and some concerning points with regards to Destiny 2 for Year 3, having a showdown with Borderlands 3. Look, folks, I play Destiny 2 every day, and I also play Borderlands 2 every day right now, waiting for a season of opulence to hit, which looks like it's probably going to be June 4th, I believe. And you know what, guys? We're in a, well, actually, Bungie, I should say. Well, Bungie and us are in a weird predicament for Year 3. Because in the last month or so, and I haven't made any videos on all the gossip going around, you know, Bungie had a number of developers leave the company. And we don't know if it was on good terms. We don't know if it was on bad terms. Was it simply that maybe bonuses were paid out at the end of the year and they decided to go to different companies? Were they not happy with the direction that Destiny 3 is going, because all the rumors pretty much point to, I should say the leakers. Leaks and the leakers and the rumors point to a full-blown MMORPG version of Destiny. Let's backtrack a little bit and talk about September before we start going into Destiny 3. All right, so September, Borderlands 3 is going to hit on September 13th. Now, Destiny is always known for expansions and new games, new content, and everything, hitting in September. So, looking at the calendar, well, things always drop on a Tuesday with Destiny, so that would look like September 10th or possibly the 17th. Now, the crux of Crota, that's a bad joke, the crux of Paul's article is that Bungie should either delay this DLC or annual pass or expansion, or bring it forward early to avoid a showdown with Borderlands 3. I'm going to generalize here and say that you've got your hardcore Destiny fan, then you've got your hardcore Borderlands fan. Then you also have your fan that was a Borderlands fan before Destiny and then fell in love with Destiny and likes both games, right? That makes sense. You know, Borderlands was kind of the OG looter shooter. Looking at all the comments from my Borderlands 3 videos since I've gotten back from LA recording Borderlands 3, plug, check out the annotation on screen and links in the description. Man, the comments, people are excited about Borderlands 3. And I'm noticing a trend. That a lot of the comments are folks that were OG Borderlands fans, but are also Destiny 2 fans. Like, they were huge Borderlands fans for a long time. And, you know, Borderlands 2 came out a long time ago. And by the way, I think you can get the Handsome Collection really cheap. The Handsome Collection is where you get Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel. And if you do pick it up, play Borderlands 2. Okay, to me that's better than the pre-sequel. But there's a lot of people that, yeah, they love both games, but they were Borderlands fans first and then fell in love with Destiny, and they like both. And how the heck are you going to play both games at the same time? That's going to lead into what I'm going to talk about with regards to September for Destiny, because it's going to be make or break in September, in my humble opinion. And this is where I really need you guys to lay into me or leave your feedback in the comment section as to what exactly is going to happen in September. Because while we're waiting for Destiny 3, year 2 is going to be critical because, look, we've seen a lot of things happen in the gaming industry with launches with titles, okay? Now, granted, this is an expansion we're talking about for Destiny in September, not a game launch, right? I'm going to go out on record and say Destiny 2, it felt like it launched really good. Everyone was really excited and then fell off rather quickly when kind of Curse of Osiris hit. People were not happy. I know my channel took a massive beating, but I survived. I'm still here. I could say Anthem, when it came out, man, I mean, we loved it. I still think at its core, it's a wonderful game, but the game was on life support, and at this point right now, I don't know how they're going to make a comeback. The Division 2, man, do I love that game, and I think the Division 2 kind of set the standard for how games should launch. Now, looking at Borderlands 3, from what I'm hearing and what I saw at the reveal, I think they're in a good position for a successful launch and that they're going to have all their ducks in a row. So that goes back to Destiny 2. Let's focus on Destiny in September. Destiny 2 in September has a risk of being swallowed by Borderlands 3, and that's kind of what Paul Tassi is alluding to in his article. Well, I'm sorry, he's not alluding to, he's directly saying it, that Bungie should move out their plans, whether it's an annual pass or expansion, rather than have it drop in September, push it out or release it earlier. Now, those of you who play Destiny 2 and are not interested in Borderlands 3 at all, you're going to disagree. I get it. But there is a vast majority of people who were playing Borderlands and got into Destiny because of Borderlands, because, well, they see Destiny, it's another looter shooter, first person, let's do it. And Borderlands 3, they changed up the character movement. It's much more, how do I say this? It's much more fluid. It moves like almost, not Apex Legends, but they took cues from Destiny and Apex Legends in terms of your movements. You could slide, you could mantle, you're faster. They really improved the movement. Let's say you love Borderlands and you love Destiny 2. So let's say Destiny 2's DLC comes out before Borderlands 3. Now, okay, you start getting into it, you're leveling up, you see the new activities to do, it's fun and everything. Then Borderlands 3 hits you. Telling you right now, guys, Borderlands 3, according to PlayStation Lifestyle, they had an interview with creative director Paul Sage. Well, he said if you beeline the campaign, it's going to take you 30 hours. And if you played previous Borderlands, that's not even including the side missions. That's not even including leveling up. That's not even including all of the loot farming, the boss farming. Man, there is just too much to do because, well, Borderlands is not really it's not an online, you don't have to be online to play the game. You could either play it by yourself, you could play it with friends, or you can matchmake with folks. But Borderlands, just in general, in terms of the grind, takes grinding to a new level. And before the peanut gallery chimes in, guys, I don't prefer Borderlands over Destiny. Destiny is still always going to be my favorite game of all time. The game changed my life, and still when I log in and I hear the music of the destinations and the feel of the weapons, the mechanics, the gameplay, the soup, everything, Destiny's still my favorite game, but man, I'm worried. Yeah, straight up, I'm worried what's going to happen because year 3 is going to be critical. Now, I think this summer could be a wonderful opportunity for Bungie and us as Destiny players. I am really hoping they knock it out of the park with Season of Opulence. We're going to have Season of Opulence. We're going to have the end of the Year 2 stuff, which is the Solstice of Heroes. That's on the roadmap right there. That was pretty fun last summer. But if they can load us up this summer with tons of just fun stuff to do, there's some new 6-player activity that's on the roadmap. There's supposedly a new raid. Give us new stuff. Lead us into the fall expansion, annual pass, whatever it is, so that we can say we're not going to purchase it, that we can say we're going to play it because we had so much fun this summer playing all these new activities or grinding for things within Destiny 2 that, hey man, I cannot wait for this fall, man. Year 3 in Destiny 2 is going to be amazing. My hopes are that the annual pass, if we get one for September, that the first part of it is like the size of Forsaken. I know we haven't seen them do that because every part of, we've only had one annual pass. The one annual pass we've had has just been small kind of little bits of content of endgame stuff to add to the overall game. But I don't want to log in September to an annual pass and I'm on the Dreaming City doing milestones, or I'm doing the same stuff to get powerful gear from the Black Armory, or playing Gambit Prime. No, I want to be doing all new activities, you know? And I get the point of an annual pass, where the annual pass is adding endgame content to what you are already playing. And I think, you know what? I think a lot of people do want that. They want just to take, all right, here's your base game, and keep evolving and adding onto it year after year after year. I like that up to a point, okay, guys? But come September with an annual pass, I don't want to be doing certain activities that I've been doing already for a year just to get powerful gear and the same old weapons. I want a new campaign. I want new story. I want new activities. I want new strikes. Where are the strikes? I want new PvP maps. I want PvP maps that are meant for 6v6, not 4v4. I feel like that's one of the biggest problems in a Crucible. It's not so much the balance, it's because the maps are too small. You have maps created for 4v4, and then you're throwing 6 people in there. To me, it's a little crowded. They need to do some crowd control. I was about to make a crowd control perk joke, but didn't pan out. You guys know I never script videos. Anyway, this video is going on a little bit longer than I wanted it to, but let me know what your thoughts and opinions are in the comment section. I'm a little concerned. I'm a little worried about September, because from what I saw and got to play with Borderlands 3, you know, and what the Division did in terms of setting a standard for games to launch properly in 2019, we're going to have a situation on our hands. And I do have faith in Bungie. You guys know me, Mr. Positive Pete, always glass half full. That's the household I was raised in. Well, actually, no. I was raised in a household where my pops was always everything, the glass was half empty. So I chose to live my life where everything, the glass is half full. So I'm optimistic. I think that Bungie has the ability for this summer to blow us away and get us hyped up for the September expansion, September annual pass, and then hopefully deliver on that. But how are they going to compete with Borderlands 3? That's what we're looking at right now. So anyway, let me know, please. Chime in the comment section. Let's talk about this. Let's get a dialogue. Let's get some rigorous, vigorous debate going. And that's it, guys. So leave me a hashtag, made it to the end. If you did make it to the end, and do me a big favor, drop a like in this video, only if you see fit. Follow me on Twitter at Mesa Sean. Check out my stream, usually and always on YouTube. And that's it. I am out of here like Vladimir.